Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Andrew Keegan is an American actor, producer, and spiritual community leader best known for his roles in 1990s television series and teen films. Born on January 29, 1979, in Los Angeles, California, Keegan began acting as a child and quickly became one of the most recognizable young faces in Hollywood during the late 1990s. Keegan's career took off in the mid-1990s with recurring roles on hit television shows such as Full House, Party of Five, and Seventh Heaven. He often portrayed the charming, sometimes rebellious teen, handsome, confident, and emotionally complex. His role as Wilson West on Seventh Heaven, the love interest of Jessica Biel's character, cemented his status as a teen heartthrob. In film, Keegan's breakout came with Camp Nowhere, 1994, but he's best remembered for his role as Joey Donner in the beloved teen comedy 10 Things I Hate About You, 1999. Playing the vain, self-absorbed model opposite Heath Ledger and Julia Stiles, Keegan demonstrated sharp comedic timing and charisma. He also appeared in Independence Day, 1996, Broken Hearts Club, 2000, and 2001. Showing versatility across genres from blockbuster action to intimate drama. As the 2000s progressed, Keegan stepped away from mainstream Hollywood. He appeared in a number of independent films and television projects but increasingly turned his attention to personal and spiritual pursuits. In 2014, he founded Full Circle, a spiritual community based in Venice, California, which gained both media attention and controversy. The organization described itself as a conscious community center devoted to personal growth, mindfulness, and creative collaboration. While some labeled it a cult, Keegan maintained that it was an inclusive, positive spiritual movement aimed at fostering community connection. Despite stepping back from the Hollywood spotlight, Keegan continues to act occasionally and remains active as a producer and advocate for holistic living. His later work often reflects themes of personal transformation, consciousness, and social harmony. Andrew Keegan's life and career illustrate the journey of a 1990s teen idol who evolved beyond fame to seek meaning and purpose in new forms. From his days on screen captivating young audiences to his efforts at building a community rooted in awareness and creativity, Keegan represents a generation of actors who have sought to redefine success on their own terms. After his success in film and television during the 1990s and early 2000s, Andrew Keegan began to feel disenchanted with the pressures and superficialities of Hollywood. He gradually shifted his focus from acting toward spirituality and social consciousness, pursuing what he described as a higher purpose. This evolution led to one of the most fascinating chapters of his life, the creation of the Full Circle spiritual community. Founded in 2014 in Venice Beach, California, Full Circle occupied a historic temple building and attracted a diverse mix of artists, spiritual seekers, and activists. Keegan envisioned it as a space for elevated conversation, community connection, and mindful living. Events included meditation circles, yoga sessions, musical performances, and lectures on topics like consciousness, energy healing, and sustainable living. Keegan emphasized that Full Circle was not a religion or cult but a creative spiritual collective. However, the media's curiosity about its unconventional practices and charismatic leadership fueled sensational coverage. Some journalists drew comparisons to New Age movements from the 1960s and 70s, while others portrayed Keegan as a modern spiritual figure who sought to fuse art, consciousness, and community. Despite the scrutiny, Full Circle maintained a following for several years and became part of the larger Venice countercultural landscape. By the late 2010s, Keegan began stepping back from the public eye again, focusing on family life and small-scale creative projects. He became a father in 2016, which he described as a profoundly grounding experience that reshaped his outlook. Keegan has spoken in interviews about the importance of balance, authenticity, and the pursuit of meaningful connection over fame or material success. Though he no longer works at the same pace as during his teen idol years, Keegan remains involved in entertainment. He has appeared in independent films such as Living Among Us, 2018, and continues to explore producing and writing. His work now often centers on stories that reflect transformation, spirituality, and human connection, themes closely aligned with his own personal journey. Andrew Keegan's path stands out as one of reinvention and introspection. From Hollywood fame to spiritual exploration, his life mirrors the search for identity and truth that many of his generation have undertaken. Once known for his leading man looks and teen roles, Keegan has evolved into a reflective figure whose life embodies both the glamour and the spiritual restlessness of contemporary culture. In recent years, Andrew Keegan has continued to embrace a life defined less by celebrity and more by inner growth, creativity, and conscious living. Though no longer a staple of Hollywood tabloids, his journey remains a compelling example of an actor seeking depth beyond fame, a kind of spiritual renaissance in the aftermath of youthful stardom. Keegan has often spoken about his belief in energy, synchronicity, and the interconnectedness of all things. He sees spirituality not as a rigid doctrine but as a living, evolving relationship with the universe. In interviews, he's explained that his goal has been to live in alignment with himself, with nature, and with the people around him. This philosophy underpinned much of what he attempted with Full Circle, which he described as a social movement rather than a religion. He envisioned it as a space where individuals could gather to co-create art, share ideas, and nurture compassion. Despite the sensational headlines labeling Full Circle as a cult, Keegan consistently maintained a calm and grounded response. He often pointed out that the negative press misunderstood their mission and exaggerated the community's spiritual language. He emphasized that the movement was about conscious living, creative collaboration, and environmental awareness, not worship or control. "We were just trying to bring people together in a positive way," he said in one interview. As the Full Circle project concluded around 2017, Keegan's focus shifted back toward film and family. Becoming a father deeply changed his priorities. He has described fatherhood as the most humbling and awakening experience, saying it brought him a clearer sense of purpose and a greater appreciation for everyday life. He often speaks about the importance of modeling kindness, mindfulness, and integrity for his child, values that reflect his broader worldview. Keegan remains connected to the entertainment industry, though he chooses his projects carefully. He's appeared in indie films and documentaries, occasionally attending fan conventions where audiences remember him fondly from 10 Things I Hate About You and Seventh Heaven. Far from dismissing his earlier fame, Keegan now looks at that era with gratitude, recognizing it as both a gift and a challenge. "The attention back then was intense," he once said, "but it also gave me the chance to understand myself, who I am beyond all that." Today, Andrew Keegan represents a rare kind of Hollywood story, one not defined by scandal or decline, but by transformation and inner search. His evolution from teen heartthrob to spiritual leader and mindful father reflects a deeper yearning for authenticity that resonates with many who grew up watching him on screen. Whether through his artistic projects, his philosophical reflections, or his quiet life by the California coast, Keegan continues to embody the idea that fulfillment comes not from fame, but from awareness, connection, and purpose. Andrew Keegan's filmography provides a fascinating reflection of both his natural charisma and his evolution as an artist. His acting career, which began when he was still a child, matured alongside the wave of 1990s teen cinema, a period that celebrated youthful rebellion, emotional intensity, and the conflicts of identity. His early work in the 1990s established him as a versatile young performer. Keegan's screen presence combined charm with an undercurrent of depth. He could play the all-American boy next door or the cocky rival with equal ease. His first major film, Camp Nowhere, 1994, introduced him to audiences as a confident, charismatic teen. The same year, he appeared in The Skateboard Kid 2, 1994, and made guest appearances on TV shows like Boy Meets World and Full House, where he showcased a light comedic touch. Television proved to be an important foundation for Keegan's career. His recurring role as Reed Isley in Party of Five revealed his dramatic ability, and his portrayal of Wilson West in Seventh Heaven, 1997 to 2002, became one of his signature roles. As the kind, responsible young man who becomes a father at a young age, Keegan's performance brought emotional warmth and moral conflict to a family-oriented show. Viewers responded strongly to his portrayal, seeing him as both a heartthrob and a genuinely empathetic character. In film, Keegan reached the peak of his mainstream popularity with 10 Things I Hate About You, 1999. As Joey Donner, the self-absorbed, model-obsessed antagonist, he balanced humor and vanity with just enough realism to make the character believable. The role cemented his reputation as one of the quintessential, pretty boys of late 1990s teen cinema, alongside peers like Freddie Prinze Jr. and Ryan Phillippe. But even within that archetype, Keegan brought a sharp self-awareness and comedic rhythm that made Joey unforgettable. He continued to diversify in the early 2000s with roles in The Broken Hearts Club, a romantic comedy, 2000.
Bye bye, thanks for watching. Bye.